I'll be back.
Han pasado como la lluvia sobre las montañas, como el viento por la pradera. Los días terminan en el oeste, tras las colinas, en las sombras.
Hola amigos, os quiero que dar información, ¿vale? A partir de ahora va a cambiar porque aparte que nos han subido esto de la luz y todo, amigos, pues no voy a hacer muchos vídeos entre semana. También tengáis, puedo aprovechar pues hasta el próximo viernes empezaré a subir vídeos, así que voy a estar toda la semana sin subir vídeos, ya que utilizo mucha luz también. Estaría bien no gastar mucha luz. Bueno, de momento hasta que se me solucione la cosa, con este gobierno que tenemos hay un gran problema con este gobierno, amigos. Así que ya que no hay comentarios y seguramente no me comentaréis nada, así que si os interesa ya pues sabéis que me podéis comentar cuando queráis. Así que vídeos esta semana no vais a ver ninguno hasta esta semana, hasta el viernes, ¿vale? Ya os iré avisando. Ya os dejaré el aviso cuando suba el vídeo, los vídeos en viernes que viene. Así que bueno, aquí va el último vídeo de Señor Anillos, no es ningún capítulo. Voy a subir este porque me interesaba subirlo. Son los extras, ¿vale? Y cinemáticas del juego, de la película, ¿sabéis? Y algunos modos de juego de extra también que va incluidos, que no los he probado todavía. No sé de qué va, que ahora lo probaré, amigos. Nada, quería avisar de esto, amigos, y si veis vídeos no voy a subir muchos ahora, esta semana. Así que hasta el próximo viernes, amigos. Voy a estar una semana en subir vídeos, amigos. Por eso he aprovechado en subir 4 o 5 vídeos. Bueno, no algunos muy importantes, pero algunos vídeos que he subido son de trofeos, ¿vale? Que son mini vídeos de estos, bueno, que son cortitos. O sea, cómo se consigue trofeo, ¿no? Por ejemplo. Nada, amigos, solo esto. A ver si veo suscriptores, pero bueno, veo que no me hacen caso. Ya para si tenéis, pero bueno, da igual. No sé para qué lo digo en el vídeo, si nadie lo escucha, pero bueno. En fin, nada. Quien se quiera suscribir, quien quiera. Y ya pensad que más allá, aquí en adelante ya no sale más en directo, amigos. Muy poco. Este directo que he subido del fútbol es el único directo que voy a subir, creo, que se me va a ver. Pero no sé si tengo algo más en que subir en directo, pero creo que ya no tengo nada más. Como no entra nadie tampoco, pues estoy decepcionado con YouTube. No sé si es el culpable el YouTube que me está fastidiando porque no siquiera veo suscriptores, tampoco veo visitas, no veo nada. No me está gustando nada YouTube, no me está gustando nada. Pero bueno, no sé, arreglarlo ya porque es un desastre lo que estáis haciendo con el YouTube. En fin. Venga, amigos.
Into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life. One ring to rule them all.
What we've done is a culmination of a huge amount of work involving thousands of people.
The title of The Two Towers refers to the Tower of Orthanc, which is where Saruman, Christopher Lee's character, is based, and the Tower of Barad-dûr in Mordor, the home of Sauron.
Film 2, like every film in this trilogy, is a challenge, and will remain so until we deliver it. It's a great movie. It's going to be bigger than film 1.
I think definitely that there is such care that went into making these movies,
And to be able to transfer that information to the team that's building the games is great, because I know they're putting an equal amount of care and effort into bringing a really rich game to the public.
Tolkien describes Edoras very vividly in the books as being a city of wooden buildings on a hill in front of a range of snowy mountains. When we were originally doing our location scouting, they said, look, we've got to find somewhere in New Zealand, there's got to be a hill like this that's in front of the mountains. So they went helicoptering all around the country, and they came back as a photograph of the absolute perfect hill. It was about 60 or 70 miles away from the nearest town. It was in the middle of the South Island. It was very remote. We spent about 7 or 8 months actually constructing these huge buildings. The end result was that in the movie we have an Edoras, which is thoroughly believable. I was able to go there and just shoot as if it was an existing location.
One of the exciting things about the EA games and what I've been seeing in the models as they've been built is a great replication of our sets and our characters, to the point where EA worked out a deal with our actors so that they would come in and record their own dialogue. The actors were quite excited about it.
The battle for Helm's Deep is over. The battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
We got a miniature of Helm's Deep, but what was interesting was that it wasn't just a model, there was a huge miniature. It was a quarter scale, but it was in itself about 30 or 40 feet wide. And it was so big that we could just photograph it with our cameras and it wouldn't look like a miniature, it just looked totally believable.
What makes a great movie is really a great script and a great cast. I imagine when you're doing a game, it's many of the same challenges. You've got to attract the right talent to the game. You've got to get a story that will attract an audience, and then become excited by that story and compelled by that story to actually see it come to life.
There's nothing we can do for Frodo. The quest will claim his life.
Rohan has weakened and ready to fall, and so he will strike hard and fast to bewilder men. War is upon us. The story will process and raise one thought. In the lands of Middle-earth, legend tells of the Dark Lord Sauron and the ring that would give him the power to enslave the world, and has now found its way into the hands of the most unlikely person imaginable.
I'm a huge game fan, so obviously I wanted to find out all the details about a Lord of the Rings video game. I'll get myself into a mode of playing where I'll play all the time, and it's generally when I'm playing like an adventure game that my head's in. Once I get in, I can't stop thinking about it, and I have to take my character to the end.
This task was appointed to you, and if you do not find a way, no one.
So I've been kind of asking around about this thing, and I finally got to play it, and it's unbelievable. It's just beautiful to look at. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, go on, Aragorn. Come on.
They are coming.
It's kind of a bonus to be able to turn on a video game and have me running around. I'm getting my ass kicked. Frodo looks like me. Isn't that cool?
So cool. They will find the ring and kill the one who carries it.
No! They want the ring! They must not take it. The difference between ADR for a film and sort of voicing a game is that ADR for a film is generally to picture. You're kind of looking at the film and trying to copy the dialogue that you've done before and get it in sync with the dialogue for the film.
Why? You frightened?
Yes.
Not nearly frightened enough.
The game, it's not to picture, and it's just a lot of kind of atmospheric elements that you kind of throw in, you know, danger, help, that sort of thing.
Aragon! Help! Aragon! Aragon!
I'm a fan of action figures and I'm a fan of games, and if I get to be included, it's just a total geek bonus, so I dig it.
Even the smallest person can change the course of the future.
I'm so excited and I can't wait till I have my copy. It's wicked.
The fate of the world will soon be decided. The peril of the ring-bearer deepens, for there is another who hunts the ring.
I have never played a video game in my life. I can never understand the rules. I've got very large and clumsy hands and not quite the hand-mind coordination that I think is necessary, which seems to be available to everyone under the age of 6. What's so wonderful about this game, Lord of the Rings, is that you are getting the voices of the original actors, all of them. And today I've been doing the recording of Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White, the 2 characters that I play in Lord of the Rings. What can you see?
There are markings. It's some form of Elvish. I can't read it.
There are few who can. There is a union now between the 2 towers, Orthanc and Barad-dûr. For the game, it's a little rougher, a little readier, more immediate perhaps. One of you must enter. Help those villagers who are still alive. Basically, this is an aggressive bit of fighting. It's the military side of the Gandalf that comes out, the commander, the samurai, the leader. You shall not pass! And so what you're seeing on the screen is as near as damn it the Gandalf that you're seeing in the movies, and I wish I could come and play the game with you. They are coming.
Probably the most intimidating aspect of embarking on this project was the sense that we had this incredible responsibility to deliver on an interactive format in the same way Peter Jackson had delivered in film. He has taken some of the most beloved literary works of all time and translated them into an epic film masterpiece that has created millions and millions of fans worldwide.
Are you frightened?
Yes.
Not merely frightened us.
At the beginning of a project, you're working on the conceptual side and the design side. As the project progresses, programmers, artists, animators, environment artists, modeling specialists, texture specialists, all these people are thinking about their one area of the game, but in terms of the overall experience. One of the advantages of being able to work so closely with the filmmakers is we were able to use the models and props that they created for the film as reference for the stuff that we needed to create in our game. In designing Aragorn, we really had to think about all 3 playable characters at the same time. For example, Legolas is much more of a speed and finesse-oriented character. Gimli is a small but battle tank. Aragorn is more a blend of the 2. We looked at the moves that each of the characters made, frame by frame, before we started to do anything. Then we would create a wireframe of the character. This is their basic proportions and size and scale. Then we would add texturing and lighting to complete their wardrobe and add fine details of their character. The actors were very interested in working with us. In one case, Viggo Mortensen showed us some of his action moves. He and his stunt double open up a crate of swords and start sparring with one another. That became the basis for many of Aragorn's moves. When we were selecting scenes from the film to include in our gameplay, Balin's tomb really stood out as a strong candidate. It's one of the most memorable moments in the first film. We wanted to recreate the sense of ambiance. It's this very strong beam of light on the tomb itself. It was a challenge for our environment modelers and lighting specialists. The village of Rohan levels are unique in the sense that they allowed us an opportunity to expand upon areas within the film. The actual game level itself looks and feels very much like the film locations in terms of lighting, the shape of the architecture, the people who are there, but we actually build upon that in this particular case and create areas of the level for the player to explore and fight in that they perhaps didn't see in the film.
There is a union now between the two towers, Orthanc and Barad-dûr. What's wonderful about this game, Lord of the Rings, is that you are getting on your own screen the voices of the original actors, all of them.
Help, Aragorn! Aragorn, help!
It's incredibly authentic, and I think it's really difficult to make a game based on a film. This game does it. It's very much like the film.
We designed a very dynamic music system that reflects the mood of the actual events in game.
One ring to bring the war, and in the darkness, my
In the film, Saruman attacks Helm's Deep with 10,000 Uruk-hai, so we had to use other elements at our disposal to create the sense of battle. Through sound effects and audio, we really make it feel like there's thousands of orcs in the location. If someone plugs in the game and they say to themselves, oh my god, this is a film, then we've achieved exactly what we set out to do. This is the place that I remember from the film. I'm there, I can do something, it's now my turn. That's the way we want the player to feel.
The fate of the world will soon be decided.
The whole process of the video game construction, building of it, is new to me. The fighting things and ninja things, but I was surprised. It looks much more realistic. It seems like it goes to another level. I think Aragorn's aim in the video game is better than my own, but I'm not going to complain about that. By my life or death, I can protect you. You have my sword. What I've seen of the video game seems to reflect the fact that the second movie, as opposed to the first one, is on a bigger scale. And I'm looking forward to seeing one, just as I am just in the rest of this game. I've only seen a sample today. I was glad to see, for example, that sometimes Aragorn gets knocked over or falls down or rolls around, and that his fighting style alters, to fit the situation. It's not always neat and tidy, it's kind of a
Sometimes he can be a bit of a brawler. At least that's the way he did it in the movie and the game reflects it. I think it's impressive.